With broken electric kettles like this one, if they can't be repaired, what would you normally do with them? Don't rush to throw it away. Today, let's explore how to turn this electric kettle into an extremely useful device that very few people know about. After removing the lid, I mark a line around the body of the kettle. Then I continue marking 2 more lines near this part. All of the upper section will be cut off. I'll set this piece aside. At the moment, the cut edges are still rough and quite sharp, so they need to be smoothed. That's much smoother now. This electric kettle is already very old, and there are many stubborn stains on it, so I use WD-40 to clean it thoroughly. Aside from cleaning, WD-40 also helps protect metal surfaces from moisture, preventing oxidation and rust. After cleaning, the kettle looks much shinier than before. Next, I remove this plastic base. This is the electrical contact assembly and the heat dissipating base of the electric kettle. I'll carefully check its electrical continuity using a multimeter. The readings on the screen show that the contact assembly is still functioning well. That means I'll need to inspect the switch next. I believe the switch is very likely the main problem, so let's remove it and take a closer look. This metal piece is the automatic shutoff spring plate. It holds the on button in place when you press it down, and it also pushes the switch back up to turn the kettle off when the water boils. When the bimetal strip inside heats up, it triggers this spring plate, causing the switch to release and safely cut the power. This is the crucial part that allows the kettle to turn itself off and prevent overheating or fire. It needs to be cleaned thoroughly using WD-40 and sandpaper. After sanding it with sandpaper, I only need to clean it once more with WD-40. The automatic shut-off spring plate is now much cleaner than before, so I can reinstall it back into the switch. After that, I reassemble everything just like it was. The plastic cover at the base of the electric kettle will also be put back in its original position. And just like that, a new kettle is completed. Now I will move on to the next device. Besides the power socket that I just removed, I also need a fan speed control switch. I connect this wire from the switch to the socket. Next, we need a piece of electrical wire like this. I'll separate the two inner wires. Now, I strip a bit of insulation off the end of each wire. The white wire will be connected to the socket. This leaves one wire from the switch and one wire from the electrical cord. These two will be connected together. Before that, I close the socket. To protect the connection point, I wrap several layers of electrical tape around it. And now, we have successfully connected an electrical cord to the socket and the fan speed control switch. All that's left is to secure the switch to the socket with hot glue. That's it. Let's take a look at the results of today's project. After pouring water into the kettle, I plug it in and turn the switch to boil the water. Since this is originally an electric kettle, it heats water extremely fast. And with this dial, I can not only turn it on and off, but also adjust the boiling temperature. Now I'll use this kettle to warm up a cup of cold milk. Very quickly, the milk has warmed up already. Next, I'll try boiling an egg. After about 7 to 9 minutes, I take the egg out to check how well it is cooked. And the egg is done. So this new kettle of mine works really well, doesn't it? What do you think about today's DIY idea? Please leave a comment and let me know. And don't forget to give me a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much.